Hey, glad you're here. I've got something to tell you. I finally found out the answer to something that's been bugging me for the past 10 years. Let's just say someone came back into my life that I thought I'd lost forever. You won't believe what they told me. Before we get into the story, remember to subscribe, click the notification bell, and like this story. And you'll have good hair days for the next 10 years. Promise. When I was a kid, I was kind of shy. I didn't have a lot of friends, but I was very close to the few that I had, and my sister Beth, of course. My very best friend was called Jake. We were in the same class at school since first grade and spent summers at camp together every year. When we were 13, I started to see Jake in a different way, in a cute way. All of a sudden, he wasn't just my buddy Jake. He was Jake. The guy with the cute blue eyes, nice smile, and the best jokes in the world. No one made me laugh like Jake, and I made him laugh too. I started acting weird around Jake, nervous and awkward, talking too loud and laughing at all the wrong times. It was horrible. I never experienced it before, and I wanted to shake myself back to normality. Has this ever happened to you? Why couldn't I have a crush on some random guy? Why did it have to be my best friend? I didn't tell anyone about this crush and hoped it would just go away and things would go back to normal. Just when I was wondering if Jake had noticed my weirdo behavior, he asked me if I wanted to hang out on the weekend. Phew. I assumed we were going to watch movies at my place, bake cookies, and play with the dog as usual. I guessed he hadn't noticed anything odd after all. But no. Jake invited me to a party at his house that his older brother was throwing. It was a change of pace, that's for sure. His brother had always found us annoying, especially when he was trying to be cool around his friends. The thought of a real party with Jake immediately made me sick to my stomach with nerves. What should I wear? Would there be dancing? Would there be anyone else there my age? Would I even be allowed to go? When I asked my mom, she already knew. It turns out Jake's mom had called her to ask if it was okay. Mom kept giving me weird looks, like a sly smile, as if she knew something I didn't. When she asked me if going to the party with Jake was a date, my face became beet red and I ran into my room and slammed the door after, yelling an incoherent, "Ah!" The day of the party was a Friday, so I spent all day at school thinking about it. During PE, my friend Skylar caught up to me on the track and asked if I was going to the party and if I'd like to get ready and go together. Oh, so it wasn't just me who Jake had invited. I admit, I felt a little hurt. It turned out that Jake had invited most of our class. Skylar came over to my house after school and we had pizza. Then we listened to music in my room as we sorted through my wardrobe looking for the perfect party outfits. As Skylar was slicking pink gloss onto her lips, she casually asked if me and Jake were just friends. I didn't know what to say. The question came out of the blue. Yeah, we're just friends, totally. Why? I said, trying to sound as casual and cool as I could. What Skylar said next really shook me. She told me she was asking because she found Jake really cute and wanted to double check with me before she made a move. Made a move? What did that mean? Just when I thought I'd made a new good friend, I wondered if she had come over to my place pretending to want to be friends but really wanted to get close to Jake. Mom dropped us off at the party and told us 3 times that we could call at any point and that she'd be there to pick me up at 10 on the dot. And if I wasn't outside waiting, she'd come in to get me, embarrassing me in front of my friends. Mom always worried and overreacted. Me in my jeans and green tank top and Skylar in my navy velvet skater dress stepped into the crowded lounge full of Jake's brother's friends. They looked up at us, gave us an absent-minded hey, and carried on with their video games and ping pong. We heard familiar voices coming from the big room downstairs, so we headed there. Finding about 12 of our classmates sitting in a circle on the ground. Jake was there, his face looking down at his phone. My heart melted. He broke into the most beautiful smile when he looked up and saw us, jumping up to greet us. "So glad you guys are here," he said, and I wished with all my might he was just referring to me. He invited us to come and join the group. They were playing Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare? My absolute worst nightmare. I was, and still am, pretty shy in private. I don't do pranks or practical jokes, and I never tell secrets, my own or other people's. Skylar just laughed and joined the group. I put a brave face on and sat next to Skylar in the spot she had cleared for me, directly opposite Jake. Finally, it was my turn. Kate from my class nominated me after she had her own truth where she admitted that, yes, she did pee her pants at school in second grade. She locked eyes with me, and I braced myself for what was coming. Truth or dare? She asked. My mind raced. What was worse, telling a secret or doing something embarrassing? Surely a dare wouldn't be too bad. I might cringe for a moment, then it's all over. But truth? That could haunt me forever. Okay, dare? I said with a feeble smile. Kate paused, building horrible suspense. Your dare is to kiss. She stopped and looked around the circle. Oh no, I should have realized this would happen. I'm an idiot. She kept scanning the circle, then her eyes landed. Jake, I dare you to kiss Jake. My mouth went dry and my mind was foggy all of a sudden. I attempted to laugh. But he's my best friend. That would be weird, I uttered shakily. Rules are rules, said Kate defiantly. I looked at Jake. He was looking at me intensely, but I couldn't quite make out his expression. I kept staring, not knowing what to do. He gave me a little smile and shrugged. Better not hold up the game, he said, and started moving toward the middle of the circle. Skylar gave me a little push, nodding at me to go ahead. I moved toward the center of the circle, toward Jake. Everyone started making ooh noises, and I felt myself become tomato red. To my surprise, Jake put his hand on my chin and drew me to him. I closed my eyes, and we kissed. I kissed Jake. My mind blacked out, and the next thing I knew, I was looking into Jake's face as the room whooped. Scurrying back to my spot in the circle, I hastily nominated the next person, Vince, who chose Truth. When the game was over, everyone slowly broke off and some of us went upstairs to get more snacks. The party upstairs looked a little different from our basement party. The older guys were rowdily playing a game of cards with drinks I suspected weren't allowed. Me and Skylar were in the kitchen getting some water and refilling the chip bowl. When the kitchen emptied out and it was only us, Skylar turned to me and grabbed my shoulders, her face bright with excitement. Wow, you did it! You kissed Jake, she said. Are you mad? I asked, remembering what she had said earlier. Mad? No, of course not. I'm happy for you. Don't worry about what I said. I just think he's cute. I don't actually have feelings like you do. I was about to protest, but she gave me a look that said, save it. I already know. So I stopped. As we were about to leave, I said, Sky, it was great. And it was my first kiss. I blushed and looked at the ground, worried what Skylar may think. Most people my age were already kissing. Skylar hugged me and told me she was happy for me. I still remember that moment. It was the true start of our friendship. Skylar went to the bathroom, so I waited for her in the kitchen. I was eating a few chips when I heard someone come into the kitchen. I turned around and it was Toby, Jake's older brother. He seemed happy to see me. I know now it was because of what was in those card game cups. Hey, little bro's best friend, he said, and hugged me. To my extreme surprise, he ruffled my hair, to my humiliation, and walked out. Weird. 10 o'clock rolled around pretty quickly, and I was outside waiting for Mom at 9:55. I wasn't going to risk her marching inside like I knew she would. As I lay down to sleep, I realized that I didn't get a chance to talk to Jake after the kiss. I made a promise to myself to make sure it wasn't weird on Monday, no matter how nervous I was to see him again. Monday came. I saw Jake down the hall as I got to school. Here goes. He saw me too. He saw me wave, but he turned and walked the opposite direction. Perhaps he was late for something. At recess, he walked into the cafeteria, saw me sitting at our usual table waiting for him, but walked right past and sat with some other guys from class. This carried on all day. No eye contact, no talking, no messages, nothing. When I got home from school, I ran straight to my room and cried. That stupid kiss. It ruined everything. I had to make it right. I texted him. Hey, Friday night was weird, huh? Let's just forget about it. Stupid truth or dare, never again. Lunch tomorrow? I waited and waited and waited. Nothing. No reply. The silent treatment went on for the next few weeks. I was miserable. I even pretended to be sick so Mom would let me stay home. She knew something was up. I could hear her and Beth talking in whispers about me, worried looks on their faces. I sent a few more texts and even asked Skylar to talk to him for me. He didn't reply to the texts and wouldn't talk to Skylar. She told me to forget him, telling me no real friend would do that. But Jake had been a real friend, the best, and he was gone. One morning, Mom came into my room and told me she had heard that Jake and his family were moving to another town. She asked if I knew and wanted to know what happened between us. I just shrugged and said we grew apart, turning away so she wouldn't see my tears. So that was that. Jake was gone. I eventually got over it and moved on, but there was always that little thought in my head that wondered why. 10 years have passed, and last week, I was at the mall shopping for a gift for my new baby niece. I was peering through a shop window when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I swung around to see a familiar face. Jake. We said some awkward hellos, giving the shorthand version of what we're up to at the moment. Jake asked if I wanted to go get coffee. I had nothing else to do, so I accepted. I'm braver now than I was then, so I asked outright, "What happened? Was the kiss that bad?" Jake stared at me confusedly. "What? No. It was what happened with my brother. Surely you know that." I laughed, thinking he was joking. I had no idea what he was talking about. You know, you told him you liked him and you only came to the party to be closer to him. My mind raced. Surely I didn't say that. No, I didn't. I was just a kid. Where did you get that? I asked. Then Jake said something crazy. He told me his brother told him that I cornered him in the kitchen, hugged him, and told him my feelings. A lie, a flat-out lie. Then I remembered the hug. There was a hug, but it was nothing. So you believed your brother? You didn't think to talk to me? I asked. He said he was too upset, too hurt, too disappointed. He told me he was hoping we would kiss that night and he'd had a crush on me. Then he saw me hugging Toby and he was shattered. What? My mouth was gaping and my mind went fuzzy. All that crying, sadness, anger. Why would your brother do that? I asked. Jake said that they'd been fighting and his brother was mad that his mom had made him invite Jake and his friends to the party. I assured Jake that none of it was true, and he said of course he believes me. It seems so stupid now. He apologized for the silent treatment and told me he wished he'd just asked me before freezing me out for good. I walked away that day with closure, but I also walked away with Jake's new phone number.